Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelist, episode 688. My name is Kyle.
And my name is James.
And my name is Zach.
We're here to talk movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Normally, we'd have some witty banter at this portion, something I prepared in advance that we'd all be impressed by. But we don't have time for witty banter tonight because we have a special guest, guys.
Yeah, we got our resident Batman expert back, Mohsen. How's it going, Mo?
It's good. 688. That's amazing.
Every time you come on, you're more and more amazed by the number going up.
He's like, wow, you're still doing it.
Numbers always get me. That's incredible.
What if you come on one time and the number's less? Would you be confused or?
No, then I think I just wouldn't congratulate you.
Yeah. That's
there
true.
There is that missing episode, that lost episode. Did that have a number that got skipped, or did
we
guys...
skipped the number. It got retired.
So this is 689.
Well,
technically.
But there's also, we've done episodes that weren't numbered because they weren't like official episodes. So it's complicated all around.
Right.
You need a graduate level education to really follow it. And none of us have that.
So none of us are qualified for that. Okay.
Yeah. We're waiting till we add a host that's more qualified than us.
Good luck with that.
Wait, so you guys added me, and so you took a step backwards?
When we added you, you were a band teacher.
They're like, oh, we need the voice of the people on the podcast. Let's get a band teacher on here.
We need the hoi polloi.
Yeah, and then fooled you guys.
Mo, you're our Superman expert, or you're our Batman expert. Are you also our DC expert?
No, I definitely am not.
You're definitely not.
No, should I just leave the Zoom now?
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Mo. It's great to have you on.
Take care, guys. Thanks.
He's exhausted his knowledge of the DC universe.
I mean, you probably know more than all of us combined about DC, I would imagine.
I do follow it pretty closely. James Gunn, it's going to be interesting what he and Peter Safran do with this. It's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Sure.
What was that second name? Yeah, who's Peter?
Peter Safran. He's one of the studio heads with James Gunn.
Is he the Kevin Feige of DC?
I think James Gunn's more the Kevin Feige.
Okay.
Because he's the creative guy.
Sure.
And Peter Safran's more the kind of guy, the producer behind the scenes. Not so much on the creative side, but more making everything happen.
He's like the Kathleen Kennedy of Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
But hopefully with more success.
Yeah. Don't call him that. I'm sure he would not like that if you said that to him.
He's the Barbara Broccoli of James Bond.
Who also sold it, so I don't know if that's
exactly. So far, not great.
Sure. I imagine Peter's the guy who just interfaces with Warner Brothers saying, it'll be okay. James knows what he's doing. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be it. No, they're in good hands now. It's gonna be fun to see all the stuff they're coming up with, all the creative things they're doing, like Clayface and everything. So it's gonna be fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Last time you saw Mohsen on this podcast, it was way back in May of 2022.
No way.
Yeah, three years ago. Last time you were on a main episode. That's when Top Gun: Maverick came out.
Mm-hmm.
Got a colon? Okay.
There's a colon in that.
I think that got added in the last 3 years. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's always been Top Gun: Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unknown.
Yep.
Mandela effect.
That was a good movie. So hopefully the trend will continue with 2025's.
Oh, are we
Superman.
watching it live right now?
Yeah, we're going to watch it live and react live.
Yeah, Zach, aren't you in the theater?
Yeah.
How annoying would that be if each of us were in a separate public theater with our microphones set up?
As long as I have my blanket, I'm fine.
Exactly. I'd be here on the podcast like, man, I'm surrounded by blanky people right now, treating this like their own living room. How rude of them.
Yeah.
Mohsen, can you weigh in on this?
Oh,
are blankets appropriate for the theater?
Never.
Thank
Never.
you. Thank you.
Never.
And Mohsen, you probably leave your shoes on too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Mohsen, can you weigh in on this? James takes off his shoes on probably every flight he's ever taken.
On the plane?
On the plane.
If I'm even wearing shoes. Most of the time it's sandals on the plane.
Mohsen is speechless right now.
I just watched a reel from a flight attendant saying that that's the one thing you should never do on a plane is take your shoes off or sandals.
Nobody has ever had a problem with it because nobody ever knew, because my feet don't stink.
James.
Dude, they don't stink. James.
They don't. I'm telling you, they don't.
You have to be nose deaf to your own
How
feet.
would I know? Because I take my shoes off often at a Magic, or not a Magic Con, at Moss Media Group, where 3 out of the 4 people on this call worked with me. I used to take my shoes off at
Hold
work.
on. Are you including yourself as one of the people that worked with you?
Y'all never knew. Kyle is the only one who never worked with me.
You took your shoes off at work.
James, why do you think I was in the opposite corner from you?
Why do you think
You sat right behind me and didn't even know I took off my shoes.
I had a gas mask that didn't give it away?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he tried to get you fired. Yeah, Mo, we're glad to have you here. It's always good to have you here. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. This episode, we're going to talk the brand new Superman movie. We're also going to quick rank the different actors who played Superman. And we're going to run through a little bit of Superman trivia. So it's definitely a Superman themed episode. We're going to jump into all those things right after we tell you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Search Cinereelists, subscribe while you listen. Also, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio, as well as other Cinereelist swag. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only. We'd appreciate that. Or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. Links to do any and all of those things are in the description of this episode. You guys ready to talk Superman?
Yes.
Oh, so much.
I couldn't think of a Superman thing to
it.
say.
Zach, I thought you mentioned you had a check-in before the podcast started.
Oh, well, my check-in is just, you just had a birthday.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you had a real check-in.
It's pretty self-serving reminder of my check-in.
I missed what you said the check-in was. I just heard you say you had a check-in. So
Kyle had a birthday.
Oh, okay. That's sorry. Didn't mean to halt the podcast for that.
Yeah. He's 48.
Happy birthday, Kyle.
I'm not 48.
Congratulations.
I believe I texted you, right? Didn't I?
You did text me, yes.
Yeah. I didn't just like a Facebook post.
Oh, yeah. Mo, I'm still waiting for that birthday text, but anytime. You know, no rush. No rush.
I'm having a problem with my phone.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I figured. I was like, he probably remembered. Storage is full right now in the middle of the month.
10 cents a text.
Exactly.
Full and everything. So
yeah, no problem. No problem. That's cool. We're good.
Take care of it. Be upgrading in a couple of years and you'll get it.
Okay. All right.
Those Androids are a real problem.
Yeah, really unreliable. Can't even send text messages.
Do that? Do you Facebook message somebody, like post on their wall, and then do you text them, or do you make a choice between one or the other?
I always text people.
I don't think I got one from you, James.
Well,
no.
There you go.
Don't see one.
I hope I'm getting in trouble for this. I find the Facebook wall post slightly impersonal because I think now you can just like press a button.
That's why I don't do it.
Exactly. So, because like I got a whole bunch of like happy birthday with a bunch of like emojis. I'm like, well, they didn't put those emojis in there. That was definitely Facebook.
No way. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, what I love is when it's like it says somebody's name, which you would never call the person their formal name, and it has that in the Facebook one, and that's the giveaway. Like so. Yeah. But I don't have one from you, James. I definitely checked.
Okay, so long answer short, we're not ready to talk Superman.
No, I think now that we have discussed my birthday and made it about me, we can move on to Superman.
Okay. Perfect. Superman is in theaters now. We're going to talk about it right after this clip.
Sir?
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
Stop, Crypto. Leave it. Ow. Ow. Stop. Ow. Stop it. Crypto. Ow. Ow. Stop it. Stop. Sit. Stay.
Superman is a 2025 American superhero film based on the DC comic character Superman. This movie was directed by James Gunn and written by James Gunn and stars David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gathegi, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabella Merced, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Superman 2025 is: Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent. As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned.
Is the plot description says human way, not American way?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, this Superman is not the American way. This Superman is truth, justice, and for all of humanity.
No,
Guys,
really?
this is woke Superman. Didn't you know that? According to Fox News, this is woke Superman.
Sure.
Wow.
Or it's
not
the Superman that wants to be a hit in China. You know what I mean? Like there's a very, you could take the, oh, they're just being woke view, or you could take the, they're being as capitalistic as they can.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure. Okay. So this conversation is going to be in two parts. We're going to very quickly discuss our overall thoughts on the movie, spoiler free. And then hopefully very quickly, we will just move into a spoiler discussion where we'll talk about the movie in general as well there, but we'll feel open to talk about whatever we want at the same time. So that being said, what'd you guys think of Superman? And maybe before we jump into that, how many times have you seen Superman, Mohsen?
3 times so far.
3 times. So maybe you go first. As a person who's seen it 3 times, what did you think of Superman?
I thought it was a unique take on Superman, probably the most comic book accurate take on Superman. And I don't think I realized how many movies do not have hope and kindness until I saw Superman. And I just love the feeling I had after the movie. I just thought it was just a great, positive movie, and just great depiction of Superman. And I can't get enough of that crew. Like I can hang with that crew for another 3 times easily in a movie theater. They're just a fun crew.
Having seen it 3 times in less than a week?
Yes.
How long before you see it the 4th time? Do you need a couple weeks off now, or what's the
I'll probably take a week off, and I'll probably see it not this weekend, but the following. So a week and a half.
Okay.
Good, that's very planned out.
I do. I may even have a calendar invite. Who knows?
To yourself?
To myself, yes. To remind myself.
Mo, reminder, go see Superman for the 4th time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to watch it once, shoes on, no blanket. Once, blanket, shoes off. You got to do it once, no blanket, no shoes. Yeah.
All the combinations.
Once, full winter parka. Just, sweatbox it.
Kyle, what'd you think?
Yeah, I don't really care about Superman. He's not a top tier. Like 5-year-old me loves Superman. Christopher Reeve Superman, that era, loved all that. Ever since then, Superman's not really my favorite superhero. He's very powerful, which I think makes him uninteresting. So you always have to try and find ways to like counterbalance the power to make him interesting. And part of what I find interesting about Superman is the dichotomy of like him and Clark Kent. And there is the whole moments of like the dual life he lives. And this movie does not really focus on that whatsoever. Like I want to say this movie is 90% Superman and maybe 10% Clark Kent. And
maybe even more than that.
Right. Well, like we're not getting secret identity. We're not getting changes in a phone booth. We're not getting like uniform.
You have to go to a museum.
I know. I guess. Okay, one of those circular doors, right? Do a circular door change.
He did give a wink and a nod when he went through one of those circular doors.
Yeah, but slowly, like a straight man, not like Superman. And yeah, we never got like the suit under the the regular clothes. So I guess I thought for me this was missing a lot of what I wanted from a Superman story.
As a non-Superman fan.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I can still want something from a Superman story, even if it's not. I'm not a non-fan. I'm just not like, ooh, Superman. I'm not super excited by Superman. I thought I did like David Corenswet's performance of Superman. I liked his take on Superman, the character.
Mohsen has a very specific look when someone pronounces a name wrong, and I love it.
Okay. I just love how he put the emphasis on the sweat.
It's Corn Sweat. Well, I knew the first two syllables. It was that last one I was getting tripped up on there. And although I like Nicholas Hoult, but I wasn't quite sure. We could talk more about the why behind this Lex Luthor, because he seemed just to be evil, but I wasn't sure why he was so evil. Why they hate Lex Luthor. So. Yeah, I think I was fine with this movie.
James?
So man, this movie feels okay. Theater experience, I enjoyed watching it. It was a fun movie. All the performances were there. It didn't waste any time with anything that didn't feel like it mattered. James Gunn brought in a bunch of characters that like I have no context for. He very quickly made me like them, and then the characters did their thing. It's the same formula he's been using for all of his big budget comic book movies, and it's a formula that works, and he applied it to Superman, one of the most iconic superhero characters of all time, and a character that's been in popular culture on the big screen for decades. Decades and decades and decades. And so there's a lot to compare it to. Whereas the Guardians of the Galaxy gang, like that's the one version of Guardians of the Galaxy anybody even knows. Even the comic book people were like, fine, this is Guardians of the Galaxy now. We don't care about the old comics type of thing. So this one was a challenge to the formula. He stuck to the formula and it worked for the most part, as far as like entertaining me in the movie theater. I do have complaints though. I kind of feel like if you didn't have context for Superman, there is a lot missing from this movie. Like imagine this is your first experience with Superman and you didn't know Superman's origin or like why they're talking about his parents, and it was a lot, I would say, very quickly. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, you see him basically beat down. And that's kind of a big deal because he rarely gets beat down like that. And yet, if you didn't have any of that context, it would be kind of confusing as to why that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then it's like the tone occasionally, which is a James Gunn staple of like jumping around pretty deftly. If you had no context, I'm not sure it would work quite as well. And so like as a standalone movie, outside of everything that's ever come before it, Superman on the big screen, I felt like it was kind of rushed in half a movie. As James, the 47-year-old who's experienced Superman my entire life, like the first movie came out the year after I was born, I was able to follow it. But I feel like I didn't get enough context for Superman, for Lois, and for what's his name, Nicholas Holt's character,
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. I didn't have a lot of context for why Lex Luthor was so angry.
Yes, yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
I didn't have a context for why Superman himself was dating Lois. There was like no discovery. There was no discovery in their relationship. Right? It's just like the movie starts, they're dating, and it's like okay. I guess this is not a romance like the original Superman was.
This movie's trying to be Spider-Man 2 without doing the lifting of Spider-Man 1. It's like let's jump right into the crisis of being the superhero.
Right.
But Spider-Man 1 kind of laid the groundwork for Spider-Man 2, and this movie's jumping right into Spider-Man 2.
I totally understand why they did it. But if you removed all the context before the movie came out that I brought to the movie, and you just stuck like a 7-year-old in there, I'm not sure. They would be dazzled by the pretty colors for sure and the speed of the movie. but I'm not sure they're going to attach themselves to it like I did the originals, because the characters are kind of thin and like they didn't really build a lot of deep lore in this movie, in my opinion. On the Superman side, they built deep lore with some of the other deep lore. They built lore with some of the other characters. None of it was deep. Anyway, so as a theater experience, from my seat, it was enjoyable, but I don't think it'll really stand the test of time as a great Superman movie. What'd you think, Zach?
Okay. Well, I want to start this off by saying I really wanted to like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went into it, I tried really hard to enjoy this movie, and I did in spades. I loved this movie. It was so much fun.
Nice.
I think I disagree with almost everything that James said.
Really? I agree with so much of what James had to say.
And what Kyle has yet to say. Your takes are wild to me because this movie was so much fun, really awesome. It introduced us to a whole bevy of takes on these characters, new characters I didn't know, characters I was extremely familiar with. I would venture to say that everyone is so familiar with Superman, regardless of their age and stage, that I am so grateful this movie did not waste half its runtime on an origin story for Superman. Yeah, how unnecessary is that? This movie was super fun. I thought it packed a lot in without feeling dense. There was never a point that felt slow. There was never a point that felt rushed. I did understand or felt like I understood the motivation for Lex Luthor. So we can talk about that in spoilers if you want. This movie had some turns in it. It had introduced some really great characters, human and non-human. I was really enjoying what this movie was giving me. I thought it was a great use of DC's energy, and I'm glad they made it. I had a great time.
Nice. Okay. So let's take this opportunity to move into spoilers. So from here on out, after we give it a letterboxed ranking, we will be talking spoilers. That being said, what are you guys going to give this out of 5 stars before we talk about it in spoilers? I'll give it a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3.
I'm going 4.5.
Mo?
I'm going 4.5. It would be a 5 if it was a Batman movie, or if Batman was.
Okay.
When James and I gave our ratings, I thought Mo was about to drop the call.
I don't think we saw the same movie.
Must not have.
All right. So spoilers from here on out. If you haven't seen Superman, then you should probably pause this and go watch it and come back. If you have seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, then listen on, because from here on out, we're going to spoil it. Okay, Mo, what say you?
I don't understand. Like, I don't want an origin story. One of the things that I liked was the consistency of Warner Brothers, because like the Batman movie that came out in 2022, one of the things I loved about it was year one, right? So you didn't get a lot of origin, and you just walked into this world where you have, Bruce Wayne trying to figure this thing out. He decided to dress up as this, and he's trying to fight crime. He's trying to be a vigilante. He's figuring it out. And we're in year 3 of Superman, where he's doing the best he can. He's never lost anything until this exact moment that this movie starts. And that is his first loss. To me, it was pretty indicative of, okay, he doesn't know how to handle this, and so now he's mad for like the first time, and he's going back to Metropolis because he's like, I didn't just lose, and he's trying to figure this whole thing out. And I thought it was great to one of the things that really grabbed me was when they showed this trailer, leading up to this movie. I did not expect the movie to start at the trailer. I don't know the last time that's ever happened with a movie. And that immediately I was like, okay, now this is familiar to me. So it didn't have the same effect that it did in the trailer, where I'm just like, wait, Superman's hurt. You know what I mean? Because I've been through that. So now I was able to just relax and enjoy the movie. I think if that was the first time I saw that, I think I would have stayed in that moment for quite a while, because the that feeling that the trailer gave me, I was just, you've never seen that. I've never heard Superman, winks in pain, like it was just so foreign to me. So I thought it was kind of brilliant for comic book fans that are interested, that would have OCD'd on the trailer when it came out, like I did, and saw it over and over again on a loop. To start the movie there, I thought was great. And Lex Luthor, we can get into all that, but I just thought it was so well done, and it was such a fun ride. And there's no way there's not like an hour on the cutting room floor, because there's no way that's all they shot. They definitely, cut the fat out of this movie hardcore to make it fast. And I would love to see the extended cut. And I really hope when it comes to streaming, there's an extended cut of this movie.
I hope so too. I hope most of my complaints are stuff that they shot and just they wanted to make it a tight movie for the theatrical release, and they'll release something longer. I'm fine with that.
There's so many things that this movie did right by my book. One, let's talk about Superman. Superman doesn't kill. I love that they stuck to that with integrity. They really leaned into that. Kyle, you said, Superman is a boring character because he's so powerful. I think what makes Superman interesting is that he is so powerful, but because he cares so much about protecting human life, it's almost like he has his hands tied behind his back all the time. Because he, like, when there was that kaiju, he couldn't just like kill the kaiju, or he couldn't just like throw it against a building. He had to like protect people while fighting it. And so that limits him quite a bit, while exposing his character. And that's another thing this movie got so right, was the character of Superman and Clark Kent. He really is such a optimistic, positive, hopeful guy. Like he gets knocked down, but he'll get back up again and immediately go into the fight. And I like that he's not like super, torn and, dark and like, harboring all these like twisted thoughts and stuff like that. He is just trying to do the best he can. And man, this movie hit some really, it took its time to really hit some great beats, it starts with him seeing video that comforts him of his parents and ends with video that comforts him of his human parents. Like that took the entire movie to resolve that beat. And it was so satisfying. It's such a satisfying way to end that movie. When he is confronting Lex Luthor and he's saying, you say that I'm not human and that's why you hate me. But I'm here to tell you, like, I am extremely human.
Yeah. That was a good moment.
Like that is a great moment.
Yeah.
And to your point, Kyle, why does Lex hate Superman? Well, I think of how Nicholas Hoult was in the top 3 to be Superman. He was, as an actor, he was in the contention to be Superman.
Sure.
And eventually Superman was picked instead of him. And for me, that just informs his Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor wishes he was Superman. He wishes people looked at him with genuine like love and like awe. But they don't. They look at Superman like that. And Lex Luthor has to destroy that in order to feel like maybe he could have that. It's just, I really enjoyed what this movie gave me.
Sure.
There's a lot more I could talk about.
See, I wonder if you're imprinting that upon Lex Luthor, because I got the fact he didn't like Superman, and the whole point of the movie was he was setting up these scenarios so he could defeat Superman. But I still don't know. I don't know his why. Why does he hate Superman? And I guess maybe if you're looking at because Superman represents good and Lex Luthor represents evil billionaires, but I wasn't getting why Lex Luthor had so much hate for Superman. Why was he the adversary?
I thought with Lex, it's he's not getting the love from people that Superman. Okay. But he's a genius, right? And he can do all these incredible things. And all he looks at Superman as is an alien that's strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the brain over bronze thing.
Love him so much, yeah. And I think it was just Lex Luthor's desire to be loved And I think that's why at the end he was so mad that he's crying, out of just sheer like frustration. Why do they love him so much? Why don't they love me? And I think that was the core, I feel, of Lex Luthor's motivation.
Okay. Yeah.
I did
That
not
being
catch that on first watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. Either with me or with the movie.
I mean,
There's a
James,
problem somewhere.
I didn't catch it either. So yeah.
Right.
I would, for me, the weakest actor in the film was probably Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I don't know what I want as my Lex Luthor. He was 85% of what I want as my Lex Luthor. But that it's really more just a reflection on how everyone else was pitch perfect than saying anything about him, because I thought he was a good Luthor.
For what the movie was trying to be, I'll agree that these people did well within that world. I just feel like some of them were underused, probably due to the runtime or maybe the script. I don't know. Like, I didn't have a problem with David Cornsweet as Superman or his brief moments as whatever the alter ego is. Clark Kent. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on these names. And Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, like the times she got to be in the movie, yeah, she kind of felt like Lois Lane. I was fine with it. It's just those were so far and few between.
She was in the movie a ton.
I mean, you got to watch some of those other Superman movies. She's barely in this one compared to those other movies.
You look at like Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder's all over Superman, at least 1 and 2.
Well, I watched this movie, and she's in this movie a lot.
Yeah, but I think what we're saying, I think what James and I are saying, and this is coming from the guy who doesn't care about Superman, Lois Lane is a big part of Superman.
Right.
And
agreed.
I don't think she was a big part of this Superman.
Really?
They gave her like a couple of plot consequential things to do, but as far as like, he never had to make the choice between her and the bigger picture type of thing. And that's typical of these types of stories.
Right.
And
she breaks up with him in the first act of the movie.
Mo, what do you have to say?
Yeah, go ahead, Mo. Sorry.
Break with, like, I think like that's the James Gunn formula though, right? That's what makes his character so lovable, because he doesn't give you too much of everyone. He gives you a little bit of everybody and leaves you wanting a little bit more. And I think that's how he just films. And I think that's the brilliance of James Gunn, because like, if Guardians of the Galaxy, I was so emotionally moved by a raccoon in the last movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he doesn't give you a ton of it. But Lois Lane also solved this whole thing. She's actually the hero of this whole story as far as defeating Lex. She's the one who figures all this out. So I do feel like she was actually the main character in this. And I can't imagine a better Lois Lane. I thought she played it perfectly. I feel like she transitioned the character into today. And really, I just thought she knocked it out the park. Just especially balancing, the romance with her job. And I just thought she handled all that from an acting perspective and a character development perspective. I think they handled that amazingly well.
Here's what it boils down to for me is the Superman movies that I liked and grew up with had a sense of discovery to them. Like you start and like you're discovering who Superman is, why he's like he is, blah, blah, blah. He meets people. These people think he's one thing and they find out he's another. They fall in love with the real him. They like the real him, that type of stuff. And then he is put in like a moral quandary where he has to choose between the good of the world and the good and the people that he loves, essentially. And this movie just kind of like fast forwarded all the discovery. And that's why I said, like, as somebody who knows who Superman is, who has already experienced that story a couple times, I get it. I understand why James Gunn doesn't want to make the same movie that 2-3 other guys have already made. I get that. But they kind of zapped all the discovery out of the Superman part. The Lex Luthor, the Lois, and the Superman part. We got some really fun tertiary characters that were fun to watch. We got some battles that were cool. I agree. I don't want dark, brooding Superman where his only motivation is like make the world suck less. You know what I mean? Which is what I felt in the Snyder era. Like this Superman, I feel good about this Superman. I want to see another Superman movie. I'm not actually like kind of dreading having to go see another dark version of this. So I'm on board. I just think it's going to be another Superman movie, not the Superman movie, because they fast forwarded everything that makes you really care about Superman. That's just my perspective. Still fun to watch, though.
I did care about him. I liked that he had this dog that he didn't like. I loved the dog. The dog was great. Really?
There is so much dog in this movie.
Well, that's because you're a cat owner. That's because you own cats.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
The dog was great. And like consequential to the plot, which I thought was fun. Like everything mattered to the plot in this one. And we have not talked about the standout character, Mr. Terrific.
That was a highlight. Yes.
Fantastic.
I like Mr. Terrific. I want a Mr. Terrific movie.
He built more and more. Like at first you're like, okay, fine. And he keeps getting cooler and cooler. And by the end of the movie, he's like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely somebody I didn't know anything about.
I like that whole group. He's definitely the standout in the group. But
Sure.
Nathan Fillion with his bowl cut was pretty amazing as well. Just as a visual alone, it was hilarious without him even saying anything. And then Metamorphosis Man too was like, it was cool how they unraveled what he could do over the course of the movie and stuff like that. I enjoyed that. And it's a small little story plot point, but the idea of like sons and fathers and stuff like that throughout, I liked how they mixed that in with the Metamorphosis Man as well. There were good beats.
Yeah,
sure.
the way they handled Mr. Terrific, he was a really complex character in the comic book. I mean, I think he's the sixth smartest person in the comic book DC universe. And I thought the way they handled him is even better than in the comic books, because that he is ripped from the comic books, but then they gave him a personality.
Yeah.
And I love at the very end, if you stayed for the second credit scene, after the credit scene, like when he didn't, this is spoiler, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go for it.
So when Superman was like, you put everything back together, but it's not quite right.
It's like
or
an inch
whatever.
off.
Yeah. I just thought like the way they both reacted, I just thought was just so great. It's just so likable and so interesting, because you see Mr. Terrific and he's going to be eating himself up about not being able to put it together perfectly. And then Superman feeling like a jerk a little bit, even bringing it up. And to me, they had so many like character points where you can see the characters and you can get a really good feel. One of the things, like James, to your point, one of the things that stood out to me was it was a scene on the bridge when the building was falling and there were cars on the bridge and it was about to crush one of the cars. And then and then the building suddenly stops. And then they pan and it's Superman holding it up. And the look he gives the driver, the female driver, is just such, like, I thought it was so well acted, because it was almost a look of, I'm really sorry this is happening, and then you were scared in this moment. And then he's like, he knows he has to get back to work and push this thing, so that they can all get free. And I just thought the way he always looked at humans was so like compassionate. And even with like the Kaiji, right? Like that's how you say it, right? Kaiji?
Kaiju?
Kaiju. Thank you, Kaiju. He was so frustrated.
You're
with,
Gesundheit.
he was so frustrated with the other superheroes for just trying to destroy this thing. Because, and to what Zach was saying, he has the ability to destroy whatever. He chooses not to, and he holds back to try just to like stop the thing from destroying things, and then being able to take it to a zoo, or he said an intergalactic zoo or something like that. Like, to me, that's the amazing part of Superman, because he can just defeat anything, but he chooses to handle things with compassion and kindness. And I don't often quote Whoopi Goldberg, but
it's not true.
I did. Well, that's true. It's a daily thing. I start my day with a Whoopi Goldberg quote, but No, she was on The View, and I thought she had a really interesting point. The part where Clark and Lois were in the apartment and they were having that disagreement in that interview.
Mhm.
Whoopi Goldberg said she was watching it and she really had a problem with that scene. And she said, the problem I had with that scene was it wasn't familiar to me because she said she forgot what kindness looked like. She was like, here you were disagreeing with Lois, but you were still talking to her with respect, but still making your point, and you did it with kindness. And she was like, we haven't seen that in movies in such a long time that she said, I was uncomfortable with it because it was foreign to me. She said, I truly forgot what kindness looked like. And she thanked, David Cornsweet for bringing that back into her life. And I think that's a little bit of what I think Superman movies do, and especially this one. I feel like it brought kindness and doing good for others and looking out for others, and it made it cool again. And I think we've seen so much, like you were talking about the Zack Snyder verse, where things were just so dark, and even Superman was dark, and Superman's not dark. And to me, that's what this movie brought. It just brought kindness is a good thing, and it needs to come back. And I thought it just captured that in a beautiful way and made it cool, made it okay.
A couple of you guys have brought up the Snyderverse, and I wonder if this affects my viewing. I have never seen Man of Steel. I have not seen Batman v Superman. I've only seen Justice League Snyder Cut. So I don't really have a baseline for Snyderverse Superman.
We're like the exact opposite. I've seen everything but the Snyder
Sure.
Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, they're just totally different existences. I mean, this movie is so night and day from that portrayal of this character. And the goals of the movies are just very different. Zack Snyder was just doing a different thing with the character, both the character itself and just what he wanted the character to do in that world were very different than what
I
this
feel
was.
a lot of what we've gotten in the last 20 years have been superhero movies, and this is a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel.
That's great.
I could see that.
And it really felt like that. Something I get obsessed with that I love characters who live by a principle or like a code or like a vow that they made to themselves and they live by that. And I love how he made a vow to himself to follow his parents' advice, and that informed who he is to the core. And then he finds out halfway through the movie that he misunderstood their message, and their message was actually very, very different. And he has to decide, well, who am I? Am I going to continue to live this way I've been living, this vow I made to myself that has, justified my existence this whole time? Or am I going to change it based on new information? And I think that is such a great dilemma, much more interesting to me than deciding again if he's going to save the world or Lois Lane. You know what I mean? And I love ultimately he decides his dad, who in this movie, admittedly, his parents are the hokiest version of his parents in any
they are
property.
So corn-fed.
In any Superman property.
Get over here. Yeah.
Yes. And at
so
first
bad.
it annoyed me.
Yeah.
But when you get to that talk on the bench or wherever they're sitting, I forget where they're sitting, and it catches you unaware. This dad who you kind of didn't think much of, and he spits out that line about how you are what you choose to do, or Mohsen, you could probably say it better because you've seen it 3 times. And that is perfectly Superman, right? He now can decide, who am I going to be? I'm the guy that will do anything he can to save people. And even though if that's not what his parents sent him on Earth to do. And I love that. I think that is such a great, complex, and talk about a role model. That's awesome. Love it.
I did like that element. It was the biggest surprise from a storyline perspective for me. I know there is that's not traditional Superman lore, but I know there has been storylines, especially from the 80s on, related to that. Is that right, Mohsen? Something like that. I know it's not completely.
Yeah, could be.
It's not completely new. There's definitely like some basis in history for that from the Superman character, but it's definitely not like the stuff that like the original guys wrote. They always wrote him as like the savior of the planet, and then then in the 80s when people, you know, when pop culture got a little more complicated, they complicated the character as well, much like they did with all comic book characters. But
Right.
but I like that too.
I never got the sense that once he saw the rest of his parents' message, he was grappling with who he was going to be. I got more sense he was grappling with where he came from.
Yeah, or who he thought they were. Like
yeah. I never thought that he was going to, well, they said to rule the world, so here I go. Thanks, Mom, Dad. Like, I got the sense that he was always going to be the character he has become. He was just wrestling with.
I didn't get that.
Yeah. Like, my parents aren't who I thought they were.
I didn't get that. I got, he was like, what I thought was a lie. What I built my persona on is a lie. And maybe I need to reevaluate.
Okay.
And I think that's why they had that part in there where, Lex kind of leaked the recording. And then he, halfway through before the little glitch was repaired, he looked at everybody and he said, I don't understand what's wrong with that. And then it went to the part that he'd never heard before. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's where I felt like he was really at when he heard that and the way he's looking at the screen, I felt like that's I agree with Zach. I think it was to the point that he was like, wait, this isn't what I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be what my father wanted me to be, but I don't want to be that. And I think in that moment, he realized who his true father was.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it, kind of goes to the end. So, and where it changes what comforts him when he watches. And now he's not watching his biological father and parents anymore. He's watching the parents.
His real father.
Yeah, that really raised him. The father that said, you need to become, because he also in that talk, he says a parent's job is to let the kid figure out who he is, and then I think that's when Clark realized, no, I am who I want to be, and it's not whoever my parents are. And then he sees the love he had from his adopted parents. And I just thought all that was just so well done. And talk about character development. You could see that development happening right there in that moment from when Lex leaks that video all the way through until the very end. And I thought that's what was so cool because we were discovering the why for Superman. And that's what I thought was so cool. Because I don't think we've gotten that in other movies to that extent, where he himself kind of goes through that journey and decides, no, this is who I am and this is who I want to be going forward. I don't know if that makes sense, but that makes sense to me.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I also liked how there were characters that we just didn't really know anything about. They're just in the gang. Like some of the reporters at the Daily Planet and stuff like that, they're just kind of around. And so we're kind of, they're just coworkers that like, I'm sure there's more to know, but like, I don't want every single person to advance the plot and like be an integral part of saving the world. Like, oh, thank you that this random reporter helped save the world. No, they didn't. They're just along for the ride. And I was fine with that.
What do you think of Jimmy Olsen and his love interest?
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I mean, it definitely follows the formula. Like the old Superman movies, the ones I grew up with, always, not always, but the ones that had Lex Luthor in it, he always had kind of like a ditzy girlfriend who would help defeat him because he was so mean to her. Like that's kind of, at least in the theatrical films, it's definitely a trope of the Lex Luthor story that's going to happen. So I liked their version of it, of her taking the modern version of her taking selfies, but she isn't quite as vapid as we thought. You know what I mean? She was intentionally gathering evidence. I like that. Yeah.
Well, why was there this joke about her toes?
I didn't catch that joke.
Yeah, she was called Mutant Toes on his phone.
She just so like my idea, my headcanon is that he for whatever reason, girls love him, right?
Yeah, we see a couple girls flirt with it, like give them looks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just girls love him, and so because of that, there's lack of scarcity. He's like a Seinfeld. He's very picky about his women, and he could not get over the fact that one, she's like clingy and annoying, but like two, she must have very ugly toes, and so she's in the phone as mutant toes, and that's just what he thinks about when he thinks about her.
So he's really vapid, is what you're saying. He's shallow.
He's in a post scarcity situation, just like Seinfeld. You know, Seinfeld had man hands and he had close talker and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because Seinfeld was such a everyone wants to be Seinfeld.
He dated a lot of women. He dated a lot of women,
like one every episode.
Yeah,
I thought she was plastic woman, and he just caught her.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
Could be. We don't know yet.
They didn't come back the way they're supposed to.
Can we talk about the most pointless character in this movie? Supergirl.
What?
No,
what?
It's
Like,
setting movie.
Yeah, that was a
No,
pointless.
I understand why. It's just like it was the most annoying introduction to a character I could have imagined. It made me not want to see a Supergirl movie.
Why?
Because they made her like bratty and annoying, and she's barely in the movie. She has no consequence in this movie. It's strictly a cameo. It's practically a trailer inside the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
It's a cameo. It explains
movie. Yeah.
It explains Crypto, the dog,
completely.
and
Does it?
heaven forbid, our character has an arc.
What's the explanation? That Supergirl owns a super dog? That's
her
entire
dog.
explanation.
No,
The whole thing where he's talking to the Gary, the robot, saying this is the problem. There's no boundaries, and they're going back and forth talking. I thought it was like such a natural reaction to her and Crypto, and I thought that was like amazing, and it makes you understand why Crypto is so unruly.
Yeah, because she's the owner, and he's fostering for her while she's off gallivanting.
Yeah. Totally
she's
made
out-
sense
she's
for
out
Crypto
partying.
being the way Crypto is.
I understand why it was there. You got to sell the next movie. It just was just so pointless to me. It absolutely should have been like a post-credits thing, not like a mid-movie thing.
That made me look forward to her and Jason Momoa as Lobo, like how that's gonna go. Like I'm in for that ride. That's just gonna be a fun ride of a movie.
What's
They're making a
Lobo? I'm not
Lobo
familiar
movie?
with this at all.
Lobo, he's a DC character. He is Jason Momoa.
Wait, so are they recast? Is Jason Momoa not going to be Aquaman anymore? He's playing a new DC character.
Correct. He's gonna be Lobo. He's not gonna be Aquaman anymore.
Okay, because this universe has nothing to do with the Snyderverse, right? This is a whole reboot and all of that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, and when you see Jason Momoa as Lobo, it's not gonna bother you because, like I said, he was meant to play this character.
Identical.
Right,
Yeah.
but this universe exists in the same universe as James Gunn's Suicide Squad, right?
Right, because Peacemaker's
Because that's the prison that Lex is going to that they said in the movie.
Right.
That's the same prison that Suicide Squad's in.
Right, but some of the characters from Suicide Squad exist in Zack Snyder's universe, so we can't say it has nothing to do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, interesting.
There's still some crossover here and there.
That's
Maybe
fair.
not in this movie, but
You got me on a technicality. Yeah. Good job. Jim.
Actually,
Take a trip. Be happy.
Thank you. Well, didn't he also say that the Beetle movie counts in this universe?
Blue Beetle.
Beetle, yes, is in this. Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Somehow
you see
I-
that? Not to derail this, but did you see
Yeah.
that, Mo?
I don't understand the hate for Blue Beetle.
I liked it too.
I had a
I
good
thought it
time.
was fun.
Did you say something?
I thought it was fun. That movie was great. Not
Are
great.
we
It was.
recording? This is
at-
episode 688.
It was better than most DCEU movies. I'll say that.
What did you
For
like
sure.
better, Blue Beetle or Superman 2025?
I mean,
James, that's for you.
Blue Beetle was a more complete movie
Oh my.
from a story perspective, but Superman definitely had better
From a story
overarching themes.
perspective.
I feel
Overarching
s-
themes. I think Superman nails it better.
James Gunn makes a masterpiece, and you just said Blue Beetle was a more complete movie. I actually feel bad for the guy.
Mo, you watched this movie 3 times. Can you clue us on to some details you noticed, some interesting things that we
Yeah.
might not have seen like on our first viewing that really stood out to you?
I think the biggest thing that stood out to me, first of all, is it really depends on what theater you see this movie in. because in IMAX, it is a different movie. There's so much detail that's missed in the other projection technologies that IMAX just captures so beautifully. Like that really surprised me. It's a very different movie depending on where you see it.
I did Dolby. Where does that rank?
I saw it in no, I did not. I saw it in Dolby second. The sound's incredible, but since this was filmed in IMAX cameras, there's just so much more detail that you see, especially like the stuff Mr. Terrific does. And then one time it really stood out was, that I think it's a hilarious scene where Lex and Lois, Clark and Lois are talking. He's actually Superman at the time, and all that's going on outside.
The big space fight. Yes.
Dimensional imp.
Like that in IMAX, you could see so much more detail than you could in the other versions.
Interesting.
Clues. Okay. That really surprised me. That scene, it just wasn't as funny in the other two versions as it was in IMAX, because you can see the guys struggling a lot more in the IMAX version as opposed to the other versions where you just see kind of lights happening. That was pretty funny. I think the thing that stood out to me though was the thing that really stood out throughout, which is so I saw David Cornsweet, I think we all did, in Twisters, right? And I was a little concerned when he was cast just because the character he played in Twisters was so obnoxiously annoying that I was like, man, Superman's got to have that heart to pull you in and all that stuff. And the part that I didn't give enough credit to is what a good actor he is. Because after seeing it the third time, you see so many facial expressions and very subtle things like that he does as Superman that really kind of just, I don't feel anybody else has been able to do that. Like when he's doing an action scene and he actually makes facial expressions that have heart to it, that have compassion to it. Like I've never seen that from any movie that I've ever seen, where it's usually you just focus on the action and they usually have a face, but he had so much compassion in all those scenes. It was like a complete contrast to the actions that he's performing, and I just thought that stood out to me after seeing it 3 times. Cause I was like, I don't know how he pulled that off, but that's amazing. And I've never seen that in a movie before. I want to see action movies to make sure that I'm right, but I don't remember ever seeing that combination where you have that brute force, but you have that sensitivity to your face and that compassion in your eyes as you're performing these brutal, moves and stuff like that. That's what stood out to me.
Nice.
Awesome.
I liked the characterization of Superman through the action scenes. Like I think of any Superman movie, pretty much, they nailed it the best. Like with him saving the squirrel and the scene that you've described with the falling building and the woman in the car driving out.
Second to Blue Beetle, of course, though.
For sure.
Yeah.
Some of the visuals too, like the shot that hangs for a second where all the buildings have fallen and the dust is coming up, and then you see Superman come out of the dust and kind of stall in the air. That is an amazing shot that I can 100% see in a comic book panel. It was great.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was a great shot.
And there were a couple moments that were genuinely beautiful from a visual perspective that I don't think we've really gotten in a Superman movie before. So I appreciated those as well.
I totally. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I found the collapsing buildings to be a cop out, just because they had this whole evacuate the city. The rift is coming. I'm like, oh, you evacuate New York City in 10 minutes. Great job.
They did not. Metropolis.
Well, yeah, but Metropolis is coded to be New York City.
No, that's Gotham.
That's Gotham City.
What?
Gotham's Chicago.
I thought Gotham was Chicago.
Yeah, Gotham's Chicago.
No.
Yeah.
No. Mohsen, don't make me argue with.
You're out of date.
Batman.
One. You can see them from each other. They're you can see one from the other. They're very close.
What's the population of Metropolis?
It's about 200 people. So you can get them out quick.
Okay, about 200
real
people.
Quick.
Everyone gets their own skyscraper, right? Is that how it works in Metropolis?
Yes.
Okay,
it's a very wealthy city.
Yes. Named after people.
Yes. No.
I mean, it just seems, like there's been a lot of critique of superhero movies, especially the Man of, I didn't see Man of Steel, but I know people talked about, like how many buildings got knocked down through those fights. And like, I feel like this movie wanted to have his cake and eat it too. It's like, well, we want to knock all the buildings down, but we don't want to kill the city. So we'll just evacuate the city. It's fine. Ever get on a bus? No problem. Now we knock the buildings down.
Let me defend this a little bit.
Okay.
There have been metahumans for 300 years. So this is not our world with Superman in it. It is that world that has had metahumans for 300 years. So I would imagine they have very good evacuation procedures and like infrastructure and all the kind of stuff.
They've had to do this. People didn't even make it across the bridge before a building fell on top of them. If Superman was not there, they would have been crushed. But no, I was
one car.
Not impressed. Not impressed by there. No.
Cleveland, Ohio. There's nobody there.
I want to see the Civil War reenactment with metahumans. I don't actually.
Really don't. No, there was one other thing that I was going to mention was, and now I can't remember it all, but it was right there and it was really good.
How'd you guys feel about the pocket universe?
I thought it was clever.
It's fine.
It was fine. I didn't know you could blow your way out of a black hole. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Okay. So if Superman if his breath is more powerful than his flight, why isn't he just like going backwards, blowing everywhere he goes?
It's not more powerful. It's just a little extra.
He just learned that. He didn't know he had that.
Like, I want to see Superman going like head first backwards the entire time now, just with like a jet engine.
Yeah. Just be hard to know where you're going. The one thing,
like black hole, it grabs everything except for breaths of wind.
He just hadn't crossed the event horizon yet. So he wasn't trapped forever. He just, didn't have enough oomph with the flying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was a little worried when they started doing the whole pocket universe thing because I'm a little worn out on like alternate timelines, alternate universes, like all that kind of stuff. Feels like we've had a decade of that at this point.
A little quantum media going on there.
I liked how they used it as like, oh, we're just going to go here to have a prison. Like the pocket universe is basically just our prison. And that's really the only thing we're going to do in here.
And the monkey bots, which were funny.
That was hilarious.
The monkey bots, yeah.
And I love how Superman got so upset about the one hashtag. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, that was great. Although I think that alone is like, oh man, so I'm not going to take my kids to that movie just for that part,
Sure.
That is actually an interesting thing because I struggled with that too because it's not really a kid-friendly movie, I didn't feel, but it is marketed that way. And that was my only concern with the movie because I don't know what the age cutoff is, but it feels fairly mature for Superman, kind of like Man of Steel was. Like I felt Man of Steel was pretty mature, but Man of Steel looked mature, right? The way that it was shot looked mature, but this doesn't look mature, but it still is to me. Like even with Supergirl at the end, when she calls Superman a name, just like
exactly.
Like it's like, wait, like it's a kid movie. So I thought that was the only thing I did struggle with the movie because I feel like that was a little conflicting with the ad campaign.
Yeah. There was a scene too with Green Lantern when he was like having the fists come out of the ground and then one of the fists was flipping the bird.
Like middle thing, yeah.
Very funny, but if I had a 6-year-old with me, I don't know if that's necessary.
Sure.
Maybe 6 is too young. Maybe a 9-year-old or something.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see this movie with a 6-year-old, not my 6-year-old.
All right.
Someone's 6-year-old. So,
I mean, it was so fast they probably didn't even clock it, but
yeah,
it was in there for sure. There were a couple things that were like real quick and a little subversive for sure.
I'm just saying, Christopher Reeve never would subvert anyone. He's just what you see is what you get.
For sure. That is true.
The one thing technology. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
The one thing technology-wise I wanted to bring up that I thought was incredible in the IMAX version, when that hammer of that country, when it was basically him in the suit, that armor suit.
Arabia.
Yes.
What was it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like that.
It's something
close.
like that.
Something like that. you felt the height when he was in the air, like talking to the people and then like spraying the buildings. In the IMAX version, you almost like it had a feeling of I am really high right now. Like, and I've never seen that with CGI done like that. It was pretty amazing. And to me, that was worth just seeing it in IMAX because I've never, I mean, the technology is so good now that you actually feel like, wait a minute, I'm really high right now. And that, I thought that was really cool.
And that was non 3D.
Non 3D.
Nice. Very nice. Love it. You're making me want to see this in IMAX now.
It's such a different movie. It honestly is.
Was this Point Orlando IMAX or just like Regal IMAX?
No, this was Regal IMAX, so it wasn't like
Okay.
legit, but it's still, you felt a big difference.
Okay. Sweet.
I saw it in Dolby. It was good.
Yeah, Dolby was great too, but definitely a step down.
I saw it in Dolby Ultra Screen, whatever that is.
I don't normally go to AMC, but and the Dolby theater has like couple seats. Like every seat is like a couple seat, and you can like move the armrest up if you want.
And they recline?
Yeah.
Yeah, you come to the Midwest, every seat's like that.
But like, no. I understand that every seat reclines. What I'm saying is that they were in pairs. It was like two are next to each other, two are next to each other.
We've had that for like a decade here in Madison, at least.
It's not an innovation. It's just a choice.
Well, it seems like an innovation to you. You're like, there's a couple seat and the armrest goes up.
No, it's just odd that one armrest goes up, but the other armrest doesn't go up. Why not every armrest go up?
Yeah,
because it's a couple seat. It's because
for the love triangles, we need both arms to go up.
No, it's because like all the motor components have to be on the outside. So that's where you control your recline and everything.
Yeah.
I found it funny because when you order the tickets, like they're in like pairs.
Yeah. So that way, if you're buying a single ticket, you're knowing who you're partnering up with when you go to these movies.
But I buy a lot of single tickets. I don't want to partner up with anyone. I just want to sit next to someone, not sit with someone.
Well, you will be sitting next to someone on one side and with someone on the other side. And then what you do is you sit down, you turn the stranger and say, armrest up, right?
Oh, that would be very uncomfortable.
No, I got to have somewhere to put my toes.
My blanket.
Yeah, store the blanket. All right.
Anything else? Spoilers on Superman? Or are we ready to move on? Okay. Anybody changing their star ranking after this spoiler discussion?
No,
but I do want to see it through the lens of joy that Mo and Zach bring to this movie. So maybe I'll watch it again and try and find the good in it.
Now that I know what to expect, what's there and what's not there, I suspect that on my second viewing, I will let go of a lot of the stuff that was not there. But
James, before you go in, I will like go over the origin story with you, so you're like totally refreshed on like where Superman came from.
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about the kid who's introduced to Superman through this movie. I don't think there's enough here for them to really latch on. I think they'll enjoy it in the theater one time. I don't think they will become obsessed and rewatch it over and over and over again like I did.
I'd be interested to show Galen this movie and be like, all right, tell me about Superman. Like, what do you know?
Who is he? What do you know about him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where's he from? Yeah, and
it's kind of all there. What's missing?
Why does he love Lois?
Well, because she's pretty. I mean,
she's smart.
Question? Like when you see a romantic comedy, do you question that?
Most romantic comedies, that's what they're about. The original Superman movie, if you watch it, is mostly a love story.
Why does he love Lois in the originals, James?
Why does he? Good question.
He falls
you
in
watch
love
over
with
and
her
over.
over the course of the movie.
Why? Not how,
I think
but why?
Because he actually gets to know her. He gets to know her tenacity. He saves her multiple times in the Superman movie.
Why doesn't he just let her die?
He doesn't let anybody die.
Okay, so
we know that from this movie.
In the 70s.
We know that from this movie because they say it. Not because they show the process.
Because in the originals, he does kill
it.
people. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Not in the originals. Not in Christopher Reeve's version.
Okay.
Anyway, Superman still a 4.5, 4, 3.5, and 3.
No, I gave him a 4.5. There's 2 4.5s.
Okay, 2 4.5s, a 3.5, and a 3 for Superman. Let's move on to quick ranking all of the actors who have ever played a Superman, essentially. I only quick ranked the ones that I've seen. I know there's probably more than the ones on my list.
Oh, there's
I'm
so many.
Yeah. And I thought it was, I just didn't add the other ones. So,
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, James.
Number 5, Ben Affleck. Don't care for the Zack Snyder movies. Didn't really care for Ben Affleck in these movies. I don't.
I'm so confused right now.
That's a Batman.
Sorry, Ben Affleck in Hollywoodland played Superman.
Oh,
How does that count?
well,
He played Superman.
He played
in a movie
George
I
Reeves
watched.
playing Superman. Yeah.
But he played Superman in a movie I watched.
Okay.
It
And
wasn't
why-
really much about Superman. Therefore, number 5.
But why did he date Lois?
Say what?
Why did Ben Affleck date Lois?
That's not what that movie was about.
Oh,
It's about the mysterious death of George Reeves.
Number 4, Henry Cavill officially played Superman. Played him maybe the most of any person on the planet. And I just didn't care for those movies. Henry Cavill himself, fine. Perfectly adequate Superman.
Christopher Reeve has 4 Superman movies, which might be more than Cavill.
Right, but Cavill was in more movies as Superman that weren't Superman movies.
What, he was in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League.
He was in a 4-hour Justice League movie.
Yeah, but that's. Are you counting Justice League twice?
Are we doing duration?
Just saying, I'm willing to bet he maybe has more screen time as Superman.
More screen time? Because in Justice League, that's a 4-hour movie, but that is not 4 hours of Superman.
We'll have to do the math. I don't know what to tell you. Number 3,
Okay.
David Cornsweet. I think possibly he could take over the number 1 given time and more of these movies. For right now, there's not a whole lot of them for me to take a sample from. My number 3. Number 2, Brandon Routh. He's the closest to Christopher Reeve to me, and that movie is the closest to the original Superman movies. So there's a little bit of, it's my list. I like those movies.
Yes.
I like Superman Returns. It has major problems, just like I think this one does. And I like Brandon Routh. I wish he had a better movie to be in, and that they gave him another swing at it. But what's done is done. And number 1, clearly Christopher Reeve. I think he's my Superman. I'll be shocked if anybody will ever replace him. You can't fight nostalgia for sure. My number 1, Christopher Reeve.
Kyle, why don't you go next?
Sure. I have 7 on my list.
Cool.
So my number 7 is Henry Cavill, because I've only seen the one Justice League Snyderverse. And yeah, it's fine. My number 6 is Brandon Routh, though that could also be tied with my number 5, who's David Cornsweet. They're sort of very similar for me. My number 4 has the least amount of screen time, but I like his take on Superman. This is Channing Tatum in the Lego movie. He voices Superman, and throughout the whole movie, he's being annoyed and followed around by Jonah Hill's Green Lantern, and it's pretty funny. Number 3 is George Reeves. Now, this is from a TV show. I know it's a cop-out, but I'm going to include it anyway because he did play Superman. He was like the black and white Superman. I really liked how George Reeves would always do a little hop out the window before he went off flying. It's a classic little thing he would do. My number 2, Bud Collyer. He voiced Superman in the 1940s animated serials. I had a music composition professor in college. Very tough professor, old gentleman, but kind of a cool guy. Like once he got past his sort of hard exterior, and he would occasionally bring in his DVD of the 1940s Superman serials I used to watch as a kid, like in the theaters. So those are super fun to watch. And that's where you got the whole, like, look up this guy, it's a bird, it's a plane, and faster than speeding bullets. All that came from that era. And then obviously huge golf number 1 is going to be Christopher Reeve from the Richard Donner era.
All right. I'll go next. So we give Mo last word. My number 6, Channing Tatum. Just because I don't remember him super well from Lego Movie. So he's not a memorable Superman to me.
There's a 3-minute Super Cup on YouTube. You can just watch that.
Okay. Number 5, Brandon Routh. I I did not enjoy this version of Superman. I enjoyed parts of it, but in general, this was not a good outing for me. Not my favorite Superman. Number 4, Henry Cavill. This is an actor and a person that I do like a lot, but his movies are just so dour and dreary. And unfortunately, it's just not the universe that I want, that I think showcases Superman the best. And you know, he is pretty sedated in this movie. Like, he's very internal. And I don't think that's Henry Cavill's acting so much as just like that's the movie that he was given. So I think Henry Cavill has a great Superman in him. It's just he wasn't necessarily given a lot of runway to be that Superman. Might be controversial, perhaps. My number 3 is Christopher Reeve.
Get out of this podcast.
No, it's Christopher Reeve. I don't have the nostalgia of Christopher Reeve. I watched him in, I don't know, high school, maybe for the first time. Here's the thing about these movies. They are very hokey. They're very, very hokey. And Christopher Reeve is, you know, relatively wooden in them. And they're fine. And they're like, I don't know, classic, I guess. But I don't know if I would like, man, I'd love to have lunch with Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like, I just want to live next to him and, you know, chat. Like, I don't know. He's like an uncle.
The way he plays Clark Kent versus Superman is great. Like, he changes his whole physicality.
I get
his
that he's
whole
bumbling.
Performance.
Yeah.
No, it's not just bumbling. Like
it's very much
it's
that.
his posture. It's like his whole look. Even though it's like obviously the same person, he just changes his whole demeanor to play Clark Kent.
Oh yeah, he
slumps
Superman, and he bumbles and he, you know, fidgets and he does all the things. I get it, but he doesn't have hypno glasses.
Yeah, that's right. This movie had hypno glasses, which they briefly mentioned. I was like, hypno glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my number 2, also controversial pick, but this is my Superman that I grew up with. This is 100% my Superman growing up from Lois and Clark. It's Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
This was that's what I thought of when I thought of Superman, was Dean Cain for sure. And then my number 1, David Cornsweet. I think he is a fantastic Superman. I think he embodies the spirit of Superman, the positive, like earnest, like you knock him down, he will get up. He won't even really take a beat. He will get up immediately and go back into the fray. That's Superman to me. I thought he did a great job, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more from him.
Mo?
I got a couple of names that, well, one name that wasn't mentioned yet. My number 5 is Dean Cain for sure. Mm-hmm. That is who I think of when I think of Superman. And my number 4 is the second person I think of when I think of Superman, and that's Tom Welling. I just love Smallville, and technically I think he has the most screen time of any Superman.
You're right. He does.
Number 3 to me is Christopher Reeve. I just never really connected with those movies for some reason, or even Christopher Reeve. I don't know. Just never, I don't have that nostalgia factor, I guess, with those movies. Number 2 is Henry Cavill, because of what I think Henry Cavill could have been if he had the right movie. I think I'm factoring that in as in number 2, and how much he loved the character and how much he wanted to continue to play the character. Yeah. And I just thought Henry Cavill had a lot of potential. And my number 1 is current Superman, David Cornsweet. I thought he was incredible. I feel like he embodied the character. I feel like he brought dimensions to the character that it's never had before. It went from being a fairly wooden character to me to being a very human character for an alien, especially. And I think the restraint part of David Cornsweet is what really sold me on it. The fact that he showed that he has to restrain his strength to really be able to do what he does. And he just brought elements that I've never seen outside of the comic book. And I feel like he brought the comic book to life in a way that's never been done before.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that was our quick ranking of the Supermen. Before we get out of here.
Supermen.
No,
mans. Superman's a proper noun, so it's Supermans.
Before we get out of here, it is tradition to do trivia whenever Mo is on the podcast. So we're going to do that. Just some quick Superman trivia challenge. I have 10 questions in front of me. I have no idea how we're going to do this because I don't know. Maybe you guys all say the answer at the same time. I don't know. Or should we just round robin this and just forget about whether it's fair or not?
No, how about we all just write down our answers and then say them, and
Okay.
who can get most out of what?
There we go. Okay.
Two people can be right at the same time.
We'll be honor system.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to write it down, but be honest as to whether that was the answer you locked in your brain. Okay. Here we go.
Blue Beetle.
Number 1, Superman trivia. All right. Which actor played the version in which Superman's hair part was on the opposite side of Clark Kent's hair part? So there's one Superman in all the live action films where Clark Kent had the part on one side and Superman had the part on the other side. Which version of Superman was that?
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
In.
All right.
I believe it was Christopher Reeves.
I had to.
Brandon Routh.
2 Christopher Reeves and a Brandon Routh. The answer was Christopher Reeve.
All right.
So 1 point
Not
for Mo.
true. There's a scene where she catches him taking off the glasses. His part doesn't flip in that scene.
Right, but he wasn't in the Superman suit. He wasn't officially Superman at that point.
Officially, he was always Superman.
He's also always Clark Kent.
No, I think he's
Technically.
Superman. And
No,
then
his-
Clark
his-
Kent is the alter ego.
No, like his name is Clark. His parents call him Clark. They don't call him
His
Superman.
name is Jor-El.
No, it's
That-
not. His
No, his name is
dad
Kal-El.
Jor-El.
Jor-El's dad,
Right.
sorry.
Oh
Kal-El,
my
yes.
goodness.
Okay, number 2. A lot of debate on number 1. We'll see if this is fast or not. Number 2. How many actors have played Superman in a live action theatrical film? How many actors have played Superman in a live action theatrically released
Even as a
Superman film?
cameo?
How many actors have played Superman in a live action theatrical film?
All right, I'm locked
I'm
in.
upset.
I'm locked in.
All right.
Locked in.
7.
6.
I put 5.
The answer is 6.
Oh.
Mo gets the point. Mo, can you name them?
Is that bonus?
Maybe.
Corn Sweat.
Yeah.
Affleck.
No, Affleck. No, wrong.
No Affleck.
What?
He didn't
Affleck?
he didn't technically
Oh.
play Superman in that movie. He was in the Superman suit, but he didn't play Superman.
In the credits, it doesn't call him Superman. I'm fact checking.
That I don't know,
Yeah,
but
I'm fact checking this.
okay,
That's it.
You said Corn Sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, the ones you didn't mention: Henry Cavill, Kirk Allen, George Reeves, and Christopher Reeve,
What about
Who's
Nicolas
Kirk-
Cage?
and
Well,
Nicolas Cage. He had a cameo in the Flash. Recent
Who's Kirk
Flash movie.
Allen?
The guy before George Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Evidently, there was a Superman show before the George Reeves version.
Wait, so this question included show or just or is it movie?
There was a movie based on the show,
Gotcha. Okay.
both in Kirk Allen and George Reeves versions. There was that. Okay, number 3. Which Star Wars actor supervised a bodybuilding regiment for Christopher Reeve to obtain the musculature to convincingly play Superman? Which Star Wars actor helped Superman get buff?
Star Wars question.
I got this. I'm locked in.
All right. Kyle's locked in.
Sure, I'm locked in.
Zach?
Do I have to have his name?
If you
Yeah,
can
it's-
convince me, you know what you're talking about.
I'll
that's
convince you I
fine.
know who I'm talking about.
Okay, let's
Okay.
have Zach go first then.
There you go.
The guy who played the Wookiee.
Okay.
Okay, so
Kyle?
Zach is Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew.
I'm going to say David Prowse, the guy who played Darth Vader.
Motion.
I'm gonna say the guy who played Darth Maul.
Ray Park.
Oh, that's a great answer.
I
But
think he
he's
would have
too
been like
old.
8.
They're too young.
Yeah.
The answer is David Prowse. Good job,
Nice.
Kyle. All right. It is
I'm keeping track of scores.
it's tied 2-2. Mo and Kyle. Zach still needs a point.
Second place.
Number 4, which actor has portrayed Superman for the most total screen time across all theatrically released Superman films? Which actor has been Superman on the big
Easy.
screen
Easy.
the most?
Locked in.
Locked
in. Chris Reeve.
Christopher Reeve.
Henry Cavill.
The answer? Henry Cavill.
James said it. He said it earlier.
Yeah, but I didn't believe him then. I don't
Yeah.
believe him now.
And I don't feel like you can count Justice League twice. This is not fair.
Is he including Justice League twice?
I would assume so. Wait, did
There's
James?
the
Did you
Snyder
write
Cut.
these, or
Was
did
the
you?
Snyder Cut theatrically released?
No.
No, it was not.
Then I did not count it.
So he's in 3 movies.
He's in Justice
Nope, I think
League,
it's the right answer.
BVS, and Man of Steel, and he has more screen time than Christopher Reeve, who's in 4 Superman movies. Not
Those
even
were
Justice
for
League
sure.
movies.
They were like half-hour movies.
And The Flash. Henry Cavill in The Flash.
Isn't Christopher Reeve in the Flash?
I don't remember. Is he?
Oh, so I'm pretty sure
Those
Christopher
kids.
Reeve's face pops up in the Flash.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying that didn't help him.
Yeah, well, and the answer is already locked. So, okay.
Well,
The next one. Number 5.
we're just
All
gonna
right.
fight over every single one of these questions.
Number 5. This is closest to the pin. Okay. I'm looking for a number. What is the average Rotten Tomato critic score across all live action Superman theatrical films? So I'm looking for a number between 1 and 100, a percentage, all the Superman movies averaged together.
Oh, wow.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right. Locked in
70.
71.
Ooh, you guys are high because it's 55.
The answer? 58%.
Oh,
Kyle's point.
All right.
It's
I
pretty
saw on
low.
Face-
Some of those old movies do not rank high these days, and then some of the Snyder ones didn't do too well either, I would say. And also, like the last Superman movie got killed. The last Christopher Reeve Superman movie.
Number 4. Yeah. So I was lucky enough. I saw an infographic on Facebook today of like all the Rotten Tomatoes rankings.
just
And it's like, yeah, just so happened to see that. Yeah. And like Superman 1, Superman 2 are super high. And then like 3, 4 is a fall. Like 4 is pretty low. They get like not Man of Steel, whatever the Brandon Routh one, that was kind of high again. And then Henry Cavill falls. And then you get up to
yeah.
the
James, how
cornerstone
did you
one.
come about your stat of who had most screen time? Did you find it on the internet, or is this independent research?
Independent research.
And did you just take the length of the movies and add them together, or did you do their actual screen time in the movies?
Chat GPT.
Yeah. I think I was about to
All right.
ask, what did AI do? this for you?
ChatGPT does not know this information.
They clearly do.
That's,
ChatGPT would never lie to me.
That's AI
All
illusion right there.
Oh
But
my goodness.
Zach, did you find independent data saying that Christopher Reeve has more screen time than Henry Cavill?
No, what I'm finding is this information is not online. And so ChatGPT does not have
Oh.
access to this information. And for instance, he's only in 27 minutes of Justice League. And that's one of his movies. So I'm thinking Man of Steel and Batman v Superman plus 27 minutes is not going to beat 4 minutes of Superman.
4 movies.
Or
of
4
Superman,
movies of Superman.
Oh.
where he's the main character in all 4 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was only in those movies for 30 seconds each.
It was so much Lois Lane.
I'm gonna give myself a point for number 4.
If you'd like to challenge for your 1 point, Zach, I'll give it to you.
No,
Well, I
no,
want
no.
the-
I
I
don't
want the
want a
point
point
too.
for it. I'm just giving James a negative point for that.
That's fine.
Okay.
I still have 0 points.
I'm not
but-
competing, so I'm fine with a negative
So
point.
Zach, if I was 3rd place, as long as it's not last place.
Oh, I'm in second place.
Okay.
Until one of you gets one more point over each other, then he's
No,
back in
if-
third.
if me and Mo are in first place, that means you automatically fall to third place. There is no second place.
There's always second place.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Number 6.
Six, yes.
Which Superman film featured the most on-screen minutes of Superman in costume? In the Superman costume.
According to ChatGPT.
Locked in.
According to my independent research.
On ChatGPT.
Not all of these were ChatGPT. I'll tell you
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I don't remember which ones, to be honest, but okay.
I'm locked in.
Mo's locked in. Kyle's locked in. Zach.
I'll say
He's searching.
I'm locked in. No. I'm looking at the actors. I'm locked in.
Okay.
Henry Cavill.
I'm looking for a movie.
Superman
Oh, what?
2025.
Which
What movie?
Superman film featured the most on-screen minutes of Superman in costume? Which single film had the most Superman in it?
Superman 2025.
I don't know. Superman v Batman.
I'm also going to say Superman 2025.
The answer? Man of Steel.
Huh?
No.
89 minutes Superman's in costume in that movie.
But he was a kid too and everything.
89 minutes. I don't know what to tell you.
I accept it, James, because I believe in you.
Number 7. Oh, I need to give Mo a point. And now Zach's in third. Which Superman film had the most screen time not featuring Superman, Clark Kent, or otherwise?
It
So
does.
which movie had the least Superman, including the Clark Kent portrayal of Superman?
Does Flash count? Does Justice League count? Does Snyderverse count? I don't know what I can draw from here.
Does it have to be a
Which-
Superman titled movie?
Yes. Yeah. In this instance,
A
yes.
Superman titled. Okay,
I
so
mean, like Man of Steel counts. That's a Superman
yeah,
movie.
right. Okay, so say the question one more time, please.
Which Superman film had the most screen time not featuring Superman, either as Clark Kent or Superman? We're talking about movies with scenes that didn't actually have the actor who portrayed Superman in it at all. Had the most of that.
Okay.
Locked in.
Locked
Justice
in.
League.
No, I don't. It has to be a titled one, Zach.
That's not a titled one? Well, I don't understand what counts as a titled one.
Has to be a Superman related title. Like Man of Steel.
That's
Or
that's a movie that happens to have Superman in it, not a movie that's a Superman movie.
So Zach, if you want to choose a
Gotcha.
different movie, go ahead.
Does Superman v Batman or whatever, is that a Superman movie?
Yeah.
Okay. That one.
I'm also gonna say Batman versus Superman.
I'm going to say the original Christopher Reeve Superman.
The answer? Superman Returns.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Hmm.
interesting. Okay.
So nobody got that one, but maybe closest to the pin. What percentage of Superman Returns doesn't even have Superman in it? Not as Clark Kent, not as Superman. What percentage of that movie? Looking for a number between 1 and 100. Is
22.
everybody locked in?
No, I'm not
Zach
locked in,
says
but
22.
15.
15 for Mo.
I'm gonna go 30.
Kyle says 30. The answer? 42% of that movie does
Oh,
not have
Nice.
any Superman and no Brandon Routh in it. Almost half of that movie is like the villain and Parker Posey.
There's a
and, like,
lot
all
of
that other
Parker
stuff.
Posey and Lex
Yeah.
Luthor in that movie. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe Kyle was the closest on that one.
Yep.
Zach's back to second place. Number 8. Which is the only Superman film to be nominated for Best Visual Effects at the Academy Awards? Only one Superman movie has been nominated for Best Visual Effects. Which one is it?
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Me too.
I'm gonna say Man of Steel.
I'm
gonna
saying
say- Go ahead.
Christopher Reeve Superman 2.
Oh, okay. Superman 2. Yeah.
I'm going to say Superman 1. Christopher Reeve.
Superman Returns.
Really?
2006, the only one of them. The original 1978 Superman won a Special Achievement Award, but not an Oscar.
Great question.
Also, there was no Best Visual Effects. when
Yeah.
1978 Superman came
Yeah,
out.
that's that was like I don't think that existed back then.
That was like, Star Wars, Superman. A bunch of these movies prompted them to create
Close Encounters.
Best
Yeah.
special effects. Yep. Number 9. So did anybody get that? Nobody got that.
No one
All
got
right.
that one.
Which is the only Superman film that performed better internationally? So the new one, just discount that because we don't know how that one's going to end up
Sure.
performing. But which is the only Superman film that performed better internationally than domestically? Made more money internationally. It's the only one of all the theatrically released Superman movies. Everybody locked in?
I'm locked in.
Let's hear some answers.
Batman
BVS.
Returns.
Batman Returns.
Yes.
2 BVSs. The answer? Man of Steel, 2013.
Huh.
You guys are really bad at this. Just kidding.
I
All
should
right.
have watched the movie with a stopwatch.
Yeah, I'm sorry to not memorize the international gross of each of these movies.
Sure. Number 10, and the final question.
Oh wait,
And-
that was number 10?
Yeah. And really the tiebreaker, because we have a tie for first going on right
Okay.
now. Mo and Kyle and Zach, if you want to answer it, even though it's inconsequential. Closest to the pin. How many days were between the release of the last Superman film starring Christopher Reeves and the first Superman film starring Brandon Routh? How many days were between the release of those two movies?
I feel like if I get this exact to the
If you
day,
get this exact on,
I
you
should
win the
win.
whole thing.
You win the
I
whole
feel like
thing.
I
I'll give you
should.
that.
I feel like I should. Locked in.
I'm locked in.
So the fourth or the last Christopher Reeves Superman movie and the next Superman movie, basically. What was that time gap in days?
Locked in.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody's locked in.
12 days.
Zach says 12.
12. I'm going to say 8,000 days.
Mo?
4,300.
The answer? 6,914 days.
That's right in between us.
It's
I
not.
think I'm a little closer.
Hey, Kyle got it by a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
What year did because I know Superman Returns was 2006. What was Superman 4? Quest for
Superman
Peace?
4 was released on July 24th, 1987.
87. Okay.
Superman Returns, June 28th, 2006.
Yep. Okay.
So there was nearly 20 years between the two. 19 years between the two. All right. Congratulations, Kyle. You won. Good job.
Thank you.
Mo, close
Thank you.
second. Zach, pointless.
Wait, Zach taking a single point?
No.
No.
Oh
No
no,
points.
Zach.
Although
I
he
was
may
expecting-
gain a point if he can prove me wrong on that one question.
I was expecting a Superman quiz.
This was all about Superman.
This was a Superman movie quiz.
Yeah, this is definitely this wasn't about like in what movie does Superman rescue kid from Niagara Falls?
That's true. It was not about that. I was trying to even the playing field. Which I clearly didn't do because one was way worse than the other two. So
Yeah.
Well, James, some people need an even more even playing field than others. So
sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode 688 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, check out the video version on YouTube, support us on Patreon, leave us an Apple Podcast review, or send us an email. Links in the description of this episode to do any of all of those things. You could also support the podcast by following us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. You could also follow me on my personal Letterboxd or Blue Sky account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaban.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
Mohsen, where can the listeners follow you?
Nowhere, really.
Okay, fair enough.
Only here. It's the only place I need to be.
Mo is not online. Don't try to find him.
It's impossible.
For sure. Thanks for coming on, Mo. We appreciate it.
Always
my
great to have Mo
pleasure.
back
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah.
Fun.
Always
Thanks,
fun.
guys.
For sure. Next week, it's the return of the top 10 last 10. It's been a while since we've done one. It's time to run down our the last 10 movies we watched and rank them. So look forward to that. We'll see you guys there. Until then, keep it Cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.